Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to break down a book that, honestly, changed everything about how we look at the web. I'm talking about Steve Krug's classic, Don't Make Me Think. Have you ever been there? You're on a website, you're just trying to do something simple, buy a ticket or find an address, and you just get stuck. You're clicking around, totally lost, asking yourself, okay, what am I supposed to do now? Well, that exact frustration, that's what this whole book is about getting rid of. So, in the spirit of making things easy, here's exactly what we're going to cover. We'll start with the number one rule of usability. Then we'll look at how we actually use websites, which is probably not how you think. And then we'll get into some real practical tips on design, words, and navigation. Okay, let's get right to it. We're going to start with the single most important idea in the entire book. Seriously, if you take away just one thing today, make it this. It's what Steve Krug calls his first law of usability. And there it is. Don't make me think. It's that simple. Now, this doesn't mean you have to dumb things down. Not at all. It's about being incredibly clear. Because think about it, every single time a user has to stop, even for a second to figure something out, that's a moment where you're losing them. You're chipping away at their patience and their trust. So the goal is to create something that's, well, self-evident. That's the term Krug uses. It means a page that's so obvious, so self-explanatory that anyone can land on it and just get it instantly. No manual, no instructions, no head-scratching required. And this right here, this is a perfect picture of what's going on inside a user's head. On the left, with good design, it's smooth sailing. Okay, there's that, there's this, click, easy. But on the right, oh boy. That's what bad design does. It creates this cloud of question marks. Is that clickable? What does that word mean? And your job as a creator is to just get rid of all of those question marks. So why is this don't make me think thing so important? Well, it's because the person we think we're designing for, this perfectly patient, rational user who reads everything, they're a myth. They don't exist. The way people really use the web is a lot messier. Yeah, we built these websites thinking people are going to sit down and read them like a novel. But the reality, it's more like this slideshows. People are scanning, they're glancing, they're looking for keywords, and they click the very first thing that seems like it might be right. The book uses a great analogy. It's not like reading a book. It's like trying to read a billboard while you're flying down the highway at 70 miles an hour. So Krug takes this messy reality and boils it down to three truths. Number one, we don't read, we scan. Number two, we don't look for the best option, we look for the first good enough option. That's a concept called satisficing. And number three, we don't bother trying to understand how this system works. We just wing it, we muddle through. Now, that might sound kind of depressing, right? Like nobody cares about our hard work. But actually, it's great news because it gives us a super clear mission. If people are going to treat your page like a billboard, then you just have to get really, really good at designing billboards. So how do you do that? Well, here are the key rules. First, create a clear visual hierarchy. Make the most important stuff look the most important. Use conventions, things people already understand, like a logo in the top left. Break your pages up into obvious sections. Make it super clear what people can click on. And just get rid of the clutter. Minimize all that visual noise. All right, let's zoom in a little bit and get even more practical. We're going to talk about two things that are absolutely crucial for making things easy: the choices you give people and the words you use. Okay, so this is Krug's second law, and it's kind of a game changer. For years, people obsessed about reducing the number of clicks, but Krug says that's the wrong thing to worry about. What really matters isn't how many times someone has to click, it's how much thought each click requires. People will click all day long as every single click is a mindless, no-brainer choice that tells them, yep, you're going in the right direction. And here's the other piece of the puzzle for making things easy. Your words. This is Krug's third law. And it's brutal, but it's true. The more words you put on a page, the less likely any of them are to actually get read. So what do? You have to be absolutely ruthless. Get rid of half the words. Then look at what's left and get rid of half of that. Cut all the welcome to our website fluff. Cut the instructions nobody reads. Just get to the point. Okay, let's look at a real example from the book. This is the before. See this? It's a wall of instructions. It's happy talk. Before you even get to the actual questions, you have to read a paragraph of text. And let's be honest, who's going to read that? Nobody. Their eyes have already glazed over and they're looking for the close button. And now, look at the after. It's a night and day difference, right? It's less than half the words, but it's so much better. It gets straight to the point, it tells you how long it's going to take, which is huge, and it gives you a quick helpful note. That's it. It respects the user's time, and because of that, it's way more likely to get the job done. Okay, last big topic. Let's talk about the thing that holds the entire website together and keeps people from getting completely lost. Let's talk about navigation. Krug has this amazing analogy for navigation. He says to think about finding something, say a chainsaw, in a big department store like Sears. You don't just wander around, right? No, you look up for the big signs to find the tools department. Then you look at the end of the aisles for power tools. Then you scan the shelves for the chainsaw. It's a hierarchy. And your website needs to give people those exact same kinds of signs at every single step of the way. And the best way to do that is with what's called persistent navigation. This is the stuff that stays in the same place on every single page. It's the user's lifeline. It should always have the site logo, the main sections, helpful links like Contact Us, a way to get back to the homepage, and, super important, a search box. It's their anchor, so they never feel lost. You know, when you really get down to it, all of these rules and laws point to one simple, powerful idea. Making things easy to use isn't really a technical skill, it's just common courtesy. It's about having a little empathy, it's about remembering there's a real person on the other side of that screen, and just trying to be considerate of their time and their energy. So I want to leave you with this question, and it doesn't just apply to websites. It could be an email you're writing, a presentation you're building, anything. I want you to think back to that slide with the user's brain full of questions, and just ask yourself, what is one question mark, just one, that I can remove from my work today?